Hello guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of Haunted Gaming. This time, we do a creepypasta called Slap Happy, the happiest, slappiest game of the century. Now I'm going to do this creepypasta word for word. I like to switch it up a bit, and this is short. So, without ado, let's begin Slap Happy. I need some help. A few days back, I bought a game from a garage sale on recommendation from the original owner. She even gave me the Game Boy free of charge. She sold it for $3. She seemed reluctant to give it to me though. As I left, I looked back to see her staring at me as though I was a soldier about to go unarmed into enemy territory. The game had no label, so I couldn't tell what it was. There wasn't even any residue to show that someone had ripped it off. There was a large scratch on the back and some black streaks of something were coming out of it. Oh, and it was blue. Not any specific type of blue. Just blue. I got to my house and fired up the Game Boy. The game started, and when it did, there was just a timer. It counted down from $999 to $899. Then the title screen appeared. It read Slap Happy, the happiest, slappiest game of the century. The title shook me a little, but I shrugged it off and pressed start. The timer came again, starting at $899 and stopping at $799. The character select screen appeared now. Most of the characters I couldn't choose, they were locked. The only character I could play as was a depressed-looking girl called Tammy, which was ironic considering the game was called Slap Happy. So I chose her. The timer started up again, starting from $799 and stopping at $699. I was getting annoyed by this, so when it got to the first level I hit pause and selected save. The only thing I got was a white screen with red text stating, "Save feature has been disabled by developer due to technical problems. Enjoy the game." I figured I was going to have to finish the game in one sitting, so I pressed the A button. The first level was more depressing than Tammy was. I was really wondering why this game was called Slap Happy. I decided to make Tammy walk around for a little while. Every few seconds someone would come up to her and say something depressing. It was really an awkward few moments playing the game. At last, I thought about turning it off. But then I saw something pop out from the side of the screen and pop back in. Green words flashed at the top, prompting me to chase it. All I could see was its tail as Tammy ran faster and faster to catch up with it. Suddenly I was prompted to hit B. I did, and Tammy swung out a huge net. A horrible squeak erupted from the Game Boy speakers and the screen went black. The screen then turned white and with blue text reading "First level complete." The countdown started again at $699, but this time stopping at $650. A clink sound played every time the numbers changed. The second level was slightly happier looking, though Tammy seemed more depressed. I continued the game, curious. I made Tammy walk around just like in the first level, and the people who stopped her to talk said slightly less depressing things this time. The same thing happened with the monster, at least that's what I think it was. In the first level, then the countdown came again, 650 to 599. I was starting to get the hang of this, so I kept playing. Each level got happier, and the people said happier things as I caught more monsters, but Tammy kept on looking more and more depressed. The countdown came and went with each level, 599 to 550. 550 to 499, 499 to 450, 450 to 399, and so on until I was on the last level and the countdown was at 50. I watched the countdown until it went to 0, then the screen faded out. The screen was then illuminated by colors and all sorts of rainbow text reading, "You won! Now give this game to your friends so they can share your experience." I decided to give it to a kid who lived next door to me. He said he would play it when he and his parents went on vacation the following week. 3 days later, there was a news report about a girl from my neighborhood who died of a strange poisoning, and her parents were suspected of poisoning her. They showed her picture and I realized that she was a girl who sold me the game. I started to think that she committed suicide when they showed her name, Tammy. Then I realized that she sort of did look like Tammy from the game. Well, let me tell you, once I put 2 and 2 together, I really freaked out. I killed her by playing the game. I killed her. I killed her. No. It must be some kind of coincidence. It has to be. Then they started talking about how this is the 7th death due to a strange poisoning in this neighborhood this year. They showed the other photos and I realized that they looked exactly like the locked characters in the game. They were dead. All of them. The next player killing the one who gave them the game. I immediately felt fear for my neighbor and myself. It's only a matter of time. Now, in the end, the epilogue, it basically states, Brent Ferguson The author of this story was found dead 6 days later. An autopsy of his body revealed a strange type of poisoning. His wife was suspected for it. About 2 weeks later, his neighbor, Larry Moore, also died of a strange poisoning, and his parents were arrested on suspicion. The whereabouts of this game are unknown, but some have claimed to see it in used game shops, gutters, trash bins, yard sales, and Goodwill stores. Alrighty, Slap Happy. Now, I think this is a pretty good creepypasta. It has its flaws, and as far as cliches go, there weren't too many to be honest, and they didn't kill the experience whatsoever. And it's pretty unique when it comes to the game it details. I tried searching for a game called Slap Happy, but the closest I got to an actual game was Slap Happy Rhythm Busters on the original PlayStation, a fighting game, most likely not the game this creepypasta is detailing. I wish I could show you some gameplay of it, but I couldn't find a copy of the game, so I apologize. That being said, back to the creepypasta. What I loved was the chain game. I mean, a game that kills the previous owner as the current owner plays the game without them even knowing? That's some scary stuff when you think about it. But unfortunately, it's a fictional game, and I kind of hope that it was based on a real game, but it's not really a deal breaker. As far as something I didn't like was the lack of detail among some of the relationships between the characters. I mean, I was kind of lost I was kind of lost because I thought some of the characters were the same age, and then I even questioned how the transaction of the game took place, online or in person. I just wish it was explained a tad better. But that's a minute issue when it comes to a unique creepypasta like this one. As far as if it can be real, no, I don't believe a game like this could ever exist, a chain game, no, unless we start following, like, the Ring logic, and that's kind of dumb. But anyways, I recommend you all should go check it out. Links in the description below. It's a pretty unique creepypasta. I enjoyed it. In the end, what would you change to make it better, and what would you rate this creepypasta? This has been another episode of Haunted Gaming, and if you like what you saw, then like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mutahara, and I'm out.